Hello and welcome, I'm Dr. Left Hand Thread, and I've been repairing this particular model of Dewalt SDS Rotary hammer for a couple of years now. It's a DCH273. So in this repair course I'm going to go step by step, episode by episode, showing you how to dismantle it, how to troubleshoot, how to find out what's wrong with it, and how to do a lot of the repairs yourself without any particular repair skill or ability, without spending much money at all. So sit back, relax. This is the Dewalt DCH273 repair course. Episode 3, the teardown really begins now. What we're going to do is take out all these screws. There's 11 screws holding the body together, the outer body, and there's a little label we have to deal with there, that one there. And that's kind of it. To begin, we'll get a little magnetic dish and we'll start removing this. I could remove them with a little screwdriver, but I decided to go for something a bit more powerful. Save time, easier on the user. To avoid losing the screws, I recommend using a little magnetic dish like that, or putting them into something they won't get lost, you know. There we are. These are all T20 Torx. And they're all the same. There's no longer ones, shorter ones, etc. The only T20 Torx that's different in this whole thing is the one we used to hold on the little side switch here. So you can't mix them up later. They're all the same. So that's all the screws out, and as you can see, there's 11 of them. That's not all the screws are in this, but all the screws are the same from now on. These are the same as the ones internally. You can do two things with this label. You could peel it back and stick it down again. Sometimes I do that, just peel it back and stick it down with a bit of hot glue or something, or super glue or anything, or you can cut it in half. That'll allow you to open the drill now. It's not going to just like fall apart. You have to just really be vigorous with it. And people watching my videos before thought I was being too aggressive with the drill, but you really do have to show it who's boss, you know, to get this off. So we're going to remove the side cover here. The side cover splits here, round here, and down here. It's maybe not a clearly defined line all the way around. And when we open this, we have to be careful that not lose this, and there's a little spring loaded thing goes on there that pushes this battery connector out towards the battery. It can be easily lost as well, but that's important too. So what we're going to do is pull the side off. What I do is put my weight on there, lean on that part, and start pulling this part up. And I didn't break it there, that's just the way it comes off. Look, you just slip that off like that. And that's your side cover off. And that gives you access to the switch assembly there. There's a couple of springs, there's a couple of pieces that I've talked about. See the little metal piece there? Take that off, put it in the magnetic dish. Also, one of the other pieces I talked about, I'm going to get you in closer here to see, at the battery connector. That's very easily lost. And what do you know, it's a spring. You know how me and springs get on. When you find yourself on this far, the next things you have to remove is the small items like this here. There's a little mode selector like forward reverse on the switch. And there's this rubber thing. It's like a rubber spring loaded thing. It's like a spring. And there's this other spring at the bottom here. Just get the screwdriver in under it. Not too bad. There's just a little plastic housing and the spring. And that's most little loose parts dealt with, you know. There's actually a part missing from this one. There's a little metal part goes on there. Between you and me, if I put that together without that little metal part, it would make no difference. If you look in there, I don't know if you can see it, there's one on that side. So there's that metal part. So what we can do at this stage, and sometimes what I do, is give the switch a little clean. Cleaning the switch is quite an easy process. You can use either of these type of products, the electrical contact cleaner or the brake parts cleaner. I usually favour the brake parts cleaner, especially if I'm doing a live stream or something, because it dries out quicker. And sometimes if you use electrical contact cleaner, it takes it a while to dry out, and it actually stops the switch from working for a small period of time until it dries out, and then it's going perfectly. This is to alleviate any hesitancy in your switch. In fact, this would be a first thing to try. If your drill's still hammering but seems to be stuttering in the variable speed, this is the fix. So you spray a little bit of brake cleaner in this case on it, you know, just that part of the switch, and you work the switch. It doesn't take a while, though. I put on plenty there. I usually overdo these things, but that's just my nature. You work it back and forward like that a few times, and if you're not going to spend the time and allowing it to dry, you can use an air line to dry it out, like I do. Does no harm to de-dust the inside as well. At this stage in the teardown, you can pull all the electronics out. You can remove all the electronic elements, but they will still be attached to this. So it's probably pointless. You're probably giving yourself more work. It's easy enough to see where everything goes, slot it all into place afterwards. But it's probably easier if you just leave everything where it is. Like there's wee notches for all the switches to go into and all these little areas. It's probably easier to leave things as they are. You can pull all that out and put it back in, but it's no benefit because it is attached to the motor anyway. The next stage of the teardown involves removing this side from the body, the same as the other one, same as the other side, same as what you did here. You're just doing the same thing, and it's quite easy to do, like that. And like I say, I'm going to leave all the electronics in there because, you know, makes it a little bit easier. And to get this off, you're really trying to get the hammer mechanism and the switch assembly, which is inside this casing, out of this plastic housing at the front, and you just hold them two sides apart to get it over the top of this and slide it off. And there you are. You're now free to disassemble this part of it, and I'm going to cover that in the next video because that's a whole big teardown. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my channel for all my other videos.